Okay, so today we have to start the second chapter, that is functions. Okay, so I've shared my whiteboard. Please confirm once you're able to see it. Yes, Haris, can you see my screen? Please confirm. Okay, perfect. So let's get started. Okay, so we have to talk about chapter number 2, that is
Miss, Assalamualaikum.
functions. Walaikum assalam. Gayatri, how are you?
मिस जो आपने quadratic लास्ट क्लास में पढ़ाया था उसकी लेस देन जो साइन थी वो फिर से रिपीट करें.
I'll explain that at the end, okay? I was waiting for you, but since you joined late, so I'll explain that at the end. Don't worry, okay?
Okay.
Chalo, abhi let's focus on this chapter and don't worry, I will explain that, okay? I know कि मैंने भी समझाना. Acha. So this is the second chapter, that is functions. Before defining it formally and doing all that, let's just discuss informally what is a function. Okay? Acha. So far we have just covered one chapter, that is quadratics. We can refer to that chapter in order to see informally what is a function, right? For example, we have been doing f of x equals ax square plus bx plus c. What is this? This is a quadratic function. This is how we have been seeing how to define a quadratic function. It could be that you write g of x equals ax square plus bx plus c. Okay, abhi I'm talking about quadratic functions, right? Let's talk about some linear functions. When I say linear, the degree of function or equation is 1. And when I talk about degree, I mean the highest power is 1. For example, equation of a straight line y equals mx plus c. Okay. So here I'm just trying to give you an informal idea about what functions are. It could be that we have y of x equals x plus 2, right? All these are functions and we have been dealing with these either in form of simultaneous equations or any other form, but we have been using functions in maths. But right now we are specifically discussing functions. पहले हम बात करते थे about quadratic functions, about equation of a straight line and things like those. But now we will talk about functions. Okay, let's define a function first. That is the most important thing. Okay, so if I talk about the definition, I am going to say a function is a relation. Okay, a function is a relation that uniquely associates members of one set with members of another set. Okay, let's try understanding this definition. A function is a relation that uniquely associates members of one set with members of another set. What do we understand by set? a set is a collection of distinct numbers, right? So for example, if I say that this is a set of 1, 2, and 3, and then I have another set, let's say I have 2, 4, and 6, and I'm saying that since a function is a relation that uniquely associates a member of one set with member of another set, so let's say this is set A and this is set B and this is my function. Okay, now let's try to understand this through the diagram. Okay, this is my function which is associating member of one set to member of the other set, member of one set to member of the other set, again member of one set to member of another set. What do we understand? That f of x equals 2x. Okay, in this set, in A set I have x, and in B set I have f of x. That is, f of 1 is 2 multiplied by 1, that is 2. This means that when I'm using 1, I'm getting 2. I'm getting 2, right? So again, a function is a relation. This is a relation that uniquely associates one member of one set with members of another set, right? Is this clear? Please tell me if it's understood or not. And if it isn't, I can explain this again, right? Okay. And what about you, Haris and Ishal? Please tell me, is this understood? Okay, right. So, okay, I'll explain this again. Acha, look. Abhi, we have just discussed the definition, okay? A function which is denoted this way, either it is f of x, or it is g of x, or it is h of x, that does not matter. It could be u of x as well, okay? This doesn't matter. You can write a function किसी भी तरीके से, ठीक है, Haris? Then what you need to understand is कि definition क्या कह रही है. A function is a relation, ठीक है? F of x equals 2x is a function, you know that. They are saying that it is a relation because it is associating members of one set. This is a set जिसको हमने A कहा है. इसके members क्या है? 1, 2 and 3 to members of another set. B में 4, 2, 4 and 6, right? So for 1 we are getting 2 because of this relation. For 2 we are getting 4 because of this relation. And for 3 we are getting 6 because of this relation. So is it understood now? Okay, perfect. Acha. Now we need to talk about the two types of functions which we have. Okay. A function is either one-to-one or many-to-one. Okay, now we are discussing two types of functions. Now look, let's say if there's a function saying f of x equals x plus 2. As I told you, this is how we denote a function, right? F of x लिख सकते हैं, h of x लिख सकते हैं, g of x लिख सकते हैं, that does not matter, okay? And this is a function. Okay, now what is this? What is this? This is the equation of a straight line. If you don't understand it that way, what is the degree of this function? The degree of this function is 1. Why? Because the highest power of x is 1, because 1 is the only power, right? Okay, let's try to plot this. Okay, now This is the f of x axis. This is the x axis. Okay. You guys must be familiar with y axis here, right? But please be clear, right? We have f of x here. When we have f of x here, I will write down f of x here. Okay. If I had y here, I would have written y here. But since this is f of x, so मैंने f of x ही लिखा है. ठीक है. Now we have 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Okay, this is how I define या write the x's. Okay, now what is this? F of x plus 2. Okay, let's make a small table and see how to plot this. This is x and this is f of x. Okay, now when x is 1, what is the value of f of x? Please tell me. When x is 1, what would be the value of f of x? F of 1 is going to be 1 plus 2. That gives me 3. It is 3. Okay. Then if I say when x is 2, what is the value? Very well done. The value would be 4. When x is 3, the value would be 5. When x is 4, the value would be 6. Okay. तो ये मैंने एक सिंपल टेबल बना लिया. ठीक है. ऑल्दो इस ग्राफ को प्लॉट करने के लिए यू डोंट नीड दिस टेबल, बट सिंस वी हैव नॉट डिस्कस्ड the equation of straight line, that is why I'm plotting this. I'm doing it this way. Okay. Now when x is 1, f of x is 3. When x is 2, f of x is 4. When x is 3, f of x is 5. And when x is 4, f of x is 6. Okay. And what about when x is 0? What about when x is 0? When x is 0, f of 0 would be 0 plus 2, that is 2. This means when is x 0? This line is puri line pe x is 0, right? So on this line, the value of f of x would be 2. This should be the value. Now let's try plotting it. This is going to be a straight line, although I would not be able to plot a straight line because I did not draw it on a graphing paper, but this is how it should be. And these are the points. It is 2, for 3 it is 5, for 4 it is 6. Okay, now look. Think of it this way. Okay? So we are getting a straight line for f of x equals x plus 2. Okay? Even if you have not understood the plotting, that is completely fine. Plotting is not what we are trying to see. We are studying functions, and this is one-to-one function. And why is it one-to-one function? Because again, for one value of x, we are getting one value of y. This is the x-axis. Let's see. If this is my x, I will get this y. If this is my x, I will get this y. If this is my x, I will get this y. If this is my x, I am gonna get this y. So what I'm trying to tell you is that for one x, I am getting one y. And now you will see for multiple x's, you will get one y. Let's see, okay? So if in this case, let's try to plot another graph. And you guys can give me an example. जिन्होंने quadratics पढ़ा है, they must be knowing that y equals x square is a parabola of this type, right? And since we are talking about functions, so I will not write down y, I will write down f of x, okay? Please don't think of it as something very complicated. It is very easy and it is absolutely fine to write f of x. Why? Because this is a function where my variable is x. This is how I define my function. Okay, now look at this. For this x, let's say 1, and for this one, let's say minus 1. I am getting the same y, that is 1. ठीक है? Look at this. When I talk about f of 1, I get 1. When I talk about f of minus 1, I know that minus 1 square is also 1. This means that for many x, or maybe for more than one x, in our case we have two x's, for which we are getting one y. Okay, we are getting one value of y. The value is same. However, in this case, in 1 to 1, for every x there is one y. Okay, for one x there is one y, and here for two different x values we are getting the same f of x value. This is the difference in 1 to 1 and many one functions. Is this clear? Did you guys understand this?
मिस many and one वाला फिर से repeat करिएगा.
Okay, look. Acha, follow the words, okay? Follow the words. This is 1, 1, 1. Abhi I'm on this one. This is 1 to 1. Write down x here. Write down f of x here. Okay? Write down x here. Write down f of x here. And now look. For 1x, you will get 1 f of x. And for many x, you will get 1 f of x. When I say 1 to 1, this means that if this is my x, this would be approximately 3.5. For 3.5, I am getting let's say it is 6.5. Okay, it's just a rough graph. And I know that through this graph, for 1x, I will get 1y. ऐसे नहीं हो सकता कि कोई दो different x के लिए मेरे पास y की value same आ रही. Do you think so? Do you think कि for x equals 1 and x equals 3 मेरे पास y की value या मेरे पास function की value same आएगी? No, that is not possible. ठीक है? Is this okay? And if I talk about this one, many to 1, this means that, and it is obvious that for x equals 1 and for x equals minus 1, I am getting same value of function. This is the difference. This is what you have to understand. When I'm changing x, the value of function is same. And here when I'm changing x, I'm getting different function value. So for 1x, I will get 1 f of x. For many x, I will get 1 f of x. For example, if I say f of 2 is 2 square, that is 4. And f of minus 2 is minus 2 square, that is 4. For two different x values, I'm getting same value of function. I'm getting one value of function. Okay, perfect. It is clear now. Ishal, did you understand this? Okay. Now, let's say we have a different type of thing. For example, if there's a function which is written as this, in fact, let's write down in terms of y. You will understand why. Okay, y square equals x. And I will plot its graph without explaining because that is not needed. The graph of this function would be of this type. It would be a C, right? This is my x and this is y. Now, can this relation be a function? Can we say that this is a function? No, we cannot. Why? Because in this case, for 2 and for minus 2, I am getting the same. I'm getting the same x. Okay, think about it this way. For two different y's, I am getting the same value of x, and this is not satisfying the definition of our function. Okay, I repeat. When we were discussing functions, I told you we only have two types. One is one-to-one, the other one is many-to-one. But आपको पता है कि for function we had one in both, right? One was one-to-one, the other one was many-to-one. This is for function, this is for x. What is this? This one was for function. And we were told that it is 1, okay? And in this relation, for two different y's, we are getting same value of x. This means that this is not a function. So this is a relation, but it is not a function, right? So whenever you want to see if something is a function or not, and you can plot its graph, okay, and by plotting this vertical line, if you are getting 2 points of intersection, that would mean that it is not a function. So a function is only one-to-one or more-to-one. Very good, excellent, Haris. Yes, a function is only one-to-one and more-to-one. What you need to understand is that function की value is going to be 1 only. ये नहीं हो सकता कि 1x is giving you two values of f of x. ठीक है? For example, let's say we have two functions, ठीक है? And we have again 1, 2, 3, and we have 2, 4, 6. Okay, forget about, let me write down a b c over here, because in this way you will say that this was a function. Okay, this is x and this is f of x. Okay, abhi we have discussed what is a function. Now we are talking about what is not a function. Okay, and if you are getting this type of a thing, that for two different x you are getting same value of function, what is that? That is many to one. Okay, that is many to one. This is one, this is a function, that is perfect. Okay, this is a function. What are we studying? We are doing not a function. What is not a function? When we don't have one here. By this I mean, this is A, one value of x is corresponding to two different values of function. For example, one value of x is corresponding to two different values of function. So this is not a function, okay? This is a relation. This is a relation, but it is not a function. So simple way of telling if it is a function or not, method one, vertical line test. By vertical line test, I mean you simply have to plot a vertical line on the graph like this one. Since this line is cutting 2 points of the graph, it means that it is not a function. Or the other way of looking at it is this one. Okay, if one value of x is corresponding to two different values of function, it is not a function. I'll give you another example. Okay, let's say, let me just clear this. Let's say, obviously our focus is going to be on functions, but yes, there could be a 1 mark question where they ask you to tell if the relation is a function or not, right? What if this is a graph? It is a graph of circle, that is understood, and you have been asked to tell if it is a function or not. What are you gonna do? Simply a vertical line, right? Now this vertical line is cutting your graph at 2 points. This point and this point. Since this vertical line is cutting your graph at 2 points, this is not a function. Although it would be a relation, but it is not a function. However, if we talk about some more examples, let's say I have a line going on like this. अब इसके लिए if I want to know if this is a function or a relation, I will again plot a vertical line. And since this vertical line is cutting the graph at one point only, this certainly means it is a function, and this is not a function. So did you understand what is a function and what is not a function, and the two types of functions? No, yes, maybe. Okay, perfect. Now let's talk about domain and range. Okay, now we have two definitions. First, let's talk about domain. The set of input values for a function is called domain. And if I talk about the range, I will say the set of output values for a function is called the range. Okay. Again, we have two definitions. The best way of understanding any definition is through diagrams. Okay. Now we have been talking about functions, and I told you that you can just make two sets this way. Let's call it the set A and the set B. There's a line going from there from A to B that basically is a function. This is the function which is telling us the relationship between A and B. Okay. And let's say we have A, B, C, and we have E, F, G. Okay. We have A set and B set, and this is X and this is F of X, right? From this X, after applying F of X, we get F of X. Okay. What you need to understand is that this set is called the domain. Why? The set of input values for a function is called domain. We input these values in this function, and the set of output values. After inputting the values of X, after inputting the values of A, after inputting the values of domain, we get this set. That is the set of output values, and we call it the range. Okay. So is this okay? What domain and range is? Please tell me. And at times we call it codomain as well, but it's just a term. Okay. You can call it range or codomain, but the basic idea is same. Okay, everyone other than Gayatri, Haris, and Ishal, is this clear? Please stop me. Please stop me if you're not able to understand anything. I'm not the type of teacher who minds questions and stuff like that. Okay. Please confirm. Okay, perfect. Now let's talk about an example. Okay, now this is good. So we have Acha, also please tell me, do you guys know about equation of straight line and its plotting? Like, did you study that in O levels? Just confirm that. Meanwhile, I'll write down the question. Acha, let's say f of x is 5 minus 2x okay. F of x is 5 minus 2x, where x belongs to the set of real numbers, and we are specifically defining the interval for x. Okay. Are you guys able to see my screen? Haris को नजर नहीं आ रही screen. Please tell me मसला मेरे end पे या Haris के end पे. Okay, Haris, try connecting again because the screen is visible to other students. Okay. Acha. Now the first part is write down the domain of f of x. This is a function f of x equals 5 minus 2x, and this is the interval of x. When I say x, it means this is the interval of domain. So that is already given. Write down the domain of the function. The domain of the function is minus 4 less than equal to x less than equal to 5, because what is domain? Domain is x. This is the range of x, and we know that this would be the domain. Okay. Anything that you have not understood so far? Gayatri, Ishal, and Haris? Okay, understood. Right. Acha. Now we are discussing sketch the graph of function f. Okay. Now let's sketch the graph. Acha, when we say sketching, obviously you'll do that on your A4 paper, like on blank paper, without the lined one. Okay, so you don't have to draw an exact version. Okay. पहले मैंने in the very beginning when I was talking about one-to-one function, I made a table and that is how I told you how to plot that graph. Okay, but remember in maths, particularly in A levels, you should know plotting of some graphs. Okay, we have discussed how to plot quadratic curves. This is very, very easy. I'll tell you why. Whenever you have, let's say, y equals x, okay, we get a straight line passing through origin. Okay, let's say for y equals x squared, we had a parabola. This is for y equals x. Now, when I am changing a number here, apparently itna koi difference nahi aa raha. The only difference is that now if I plot y equals 2x, it would be steeper. It would be steeper. And why is it steeper? Can anyone tell me why is it steeper? Why is this red graph steeper? This is for y equals 2x and this is for y equals x. Okay, let's see. Okay, Haris. Yes, very good, Ishal. Okay, Haris, I'm trying to tell how to sketch this. Okay, this is our function. Forget about first part, I'll tell that. Focus on the second part. Sketch the graph of function. You said that आपने पढ़ा है, but you don't exactly remember कि वो क्या था. I'll tell you. Okay. Just like in quadratics, I told you what is the general shape of a parabola. जो shape थी for y equals x square. And जैसे जैसे हमको change करते थे वैसे वैसे हम अपने graph को move करते थे. ठीक है. Similarly, the general shape of any straight line of any linear equation is y equals x, right? This pink line. And then I told you that what would be the line for y equals 2x. And I said that this red line is for y equals 2x, this one. Okay? Why is it steeper? It is steeper because here the slope is 1 and here the slope is 2. Because in the very beginning, when I took your demo class, I told you that this is the equation of a straight line or of any linear line. Okay? m is the slope. Slope जितनी ज्यादा होगी हमारी line उतनी ही ज्यादा steep होगी. ठीक है. Either m is 1 and either m is 2. Obviously y equals 2x would be a line just like the pink line, but it would be steeper in comparison with y equals x. If I talk about y equals 3x, I will get this green line जो कि और ज्यादा steep होगी. ठीक है. If I talk about y equals 4x, I am going to get this yellow line. The slope is changing, and that is why the steepness is changing. Every other thing is same, right? Is this understood? Okay, अच्छा. तो अभी we know, okay, अभी we know that red line है for y equals to x, ठीक है? Obviously in exam you will not plot three lines and then know कि y equals to x की क्या होगी. Y equals to x है, you can plot any line that is passing through origin, ठीक है? That is correct. Because we just have one line, तो आपने उस वक्त steepness को नहीं देखता, बस एक simple line आ जाएगी. But what exactly are we interested in drawing? F of x equals 5 minus 2x. Okay, now we have been discussing y equals 2x. When I say y equals minus x, just like parabola, मेरा graph invert हो जाएगा. And this is what I'm gonna get for y equals minus x or for y equals minus 2x. Is this okay? Anything that you have not understood so far? This is for y equals minus 2x. Okay, perfect. Acha. And now what exactly do we draw? We have to draw 5 minus 2x. It can be written as f of x equals minus 2x plus 5. I have to move 5 units above. Just like parabola mein, I told you whenever we are adding something, not in x directly, but in the function, or those case we were talking about y, we move this point 5 units above. Let's say this is 5 and I am going to get finally this green line right here, and this is the graph of f of x equals 5 minus 2x. So I repeat, parabola se aasan hai, general shape of y equals x या of y equals 2x या of y equals 3x या of y equals kx. K could be anything, is a simple line passing through origin like this, ठीक है? And as soon as I add a negative sign, वो other way around हो जाएगी, ठीक है? It would be of this type, but it is passing through origin, ठीक है? Then since we are adding something to the function, we have to move our line 5 units above. So this is how we are gonna get the sketch. Anything, any questions so far? Did you understand the B part? Okay. Now, again, Haris joined late. If I talk about the A part, write down the domain of f function f, ठीक है? What is domain? Domain means x का जो interval होता है, ठीक है? That was told already. They told us कि x is from -4 to 5, ठीक है? So I just wrote this down that x would be between -4 and 5 and this is the domain, right? अगर आपको याद हो, वो जो दो सेट्स मैंने प्लॉट किए थे, इसको मैंने डोमेन कहा था, इसको मैंने रेंज कहा था. दिस वाज फॉर x एंड दिस वाज फॉर f of x, ठीक है? तो ये हमें पता था, मैंने डायरेक्टली लिख दिया. नाउ C is a bit challenging. Write down the range of function. If I'm interested in writing down the range of function, this means that I'm interested in finding out the range of f of x. Okay, let's think about it. Now I know that x की range is from -4 to 5, ठीक है? तो function की range क्या होगी? This value and this value, ठीक है? Function की value at -4. What is function की value at -4? Who is going to tell me? Function की value at -4 can be calculated easily by using x equals -4. 5 minus 2 minus 4 is giving me 5
-3.
-3.
नहीं
Think
नहीं
about it.
नहीं
Very good. 13.
13.
Excellent, excellent. Very good. Acha. So this is 13. And what about f of 5? It would be, yes, Please tell me what would be f of 5?
-5.
Okay, minus 2 into 5 plus 5 is minus 10 plus 5, that is 5. That is minus 5, okay, because we have minus 10 here. And हमें यहाँ से भी नजर आ रहा है, since it is on this part of the curve, the value of f of x would be negative. So it is minus 5. This means that from 13 to minus 5, this is the range of function. So this is from minus 5 to 13. Since this is the interval for f of x, this is our range. Okay, anything that you have not understood? Any question? Is this okay? Is this understood? Okay. Acha, look, Haris.
मिस
Yes.
ये जो स्केचिंग की है ना हमने, जो प्लॉटिंग की थी फंक्शन की, मुझे वो समझ नहीं आई.
Acha. So, okay, wait. I told you that this is for f of x equals x. ठीक है, जिस तरह पैराबोला की फिक्स शेप होती है ना, U shape. This is the shape for y equals x. ठीक है, this yellow curve जो मैं move कर रही हूँ. Can you see this?
यस, ओके, आगे
ठीक है.
समझिए.
इसको मैं अब माइनस, इसको मैं रिमूव कर देती हूँ. इफ आई टॉक अबाउट y इक्वल्स माइनस एक्स, दिस वुड बी दी शेप. ठीक है, सॉरी 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 सॉरी, दिस वुड बी दी शेप फॉर y इक्वल्स x
y is equals to
एंड
x.
यस, एंड अदर वे अराउंड अगर मैं इसको प्लॉट करूं, दिस वुड बी दी शेप. ठीक है, फॉर y इक्वल्स माइनस एक्स हमारे पास क्या था, f of x equals minus 2x plus 5. फिर हमने इस लाइन को 5 यूनिट्स ऊपर मूव करना है because we have plus 5, so I got the green line. Is this understood now?
Yes, got it.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. You're welcome. And Haris, look, you are interested in finding out the range of function. How do we find range? We know what domain is. Okay, this is -4, this is 5, and this is the function. Simply use -4 in f of x, you will get 13, this one, and use 5 in f of x, you will get -5. So you know that your function is between -5 and 13. उसको बस मैंने इस तरह इंटरवल के फॉर्म में लिख दिया है. Is it okay now? Okay. So anything that you have not understood?